We are up very early on this.
What sort of person just starts pointing cameras at people at this hour of the morning and filming?
Yes, now you know how it feels.
You've already been on camera this morning.
What were you videoing?
You going... Anyway,
we're up really early for a couple of reasons. One, we do have some good momentum on this trail now that nothing is holding us back. And we want to keep that momentum going.
Or we're beat to shit and yeah.
Two, because we're camped right on the side of the trail, we want to get going before anyone comes by.
Those Mennonites might wander around here and we don't like your side.
So it's not about not liking people or about thinking that people are going to hassle us or anything.
We were literally warned to watch out for a guy hassling people who were camped.
But he was backing down.
Yeah, down right.
It's just, for me, it's part of being considerate of other people on the trail. I know when I'm hiking and there's someone staying right on the side of the trail, it's kind of a negative for me. And so
the entire PCT.
It is a big negative on trails like that when people stay right next to the trail. So it's just a consideration thing that I don't think it's nice for people hiking the trail when there's people camped right next to it. And I don't want to be that person that is a little bit of a negative for someone on this lovely trail.
Because you might see that first thing in the morning and nobody wants that. Apologies to whoever was drinking coffee and just vomited over their screen. But don't worry, monitors get cheap these days. Gather, continue.
And then another reason is we have a trail angel who's treating us to a cabin stay. They said they stayed there. It was really nice. They really recommended it and wanted us to see that. So we have 20 something miles to get there.
So we're gonna stumble in there, beat up, middle of the night, and go, cabin?
No, we're not gonna get there in the middle of the night. We are leaving at like 6:30 in the morning.
Beat up.
We are gonna get there. I estimate we're gonna get there at 6 p.m.
I don't know. How long will it take us to frizzle down?
Hey, my frizz isn't even bad this morning. Last night was the first time since I've been here on summer that we've hiked through a big storm, and that's giving me that like, oh sweet summer child look, because we know he's hiked through several big storms. But my stuff is pretty wet, and so I did change into my single pair of dry pants and my last pair of dry socks for the hike out today. We have very limited internet in this spot. Oh, that's been something else that's new on this section. For the entire Katy Trail, we've pretty much had cell service the whole time. Yesterday, once we got into this more remote area at maybe 11 a.m., I didn't really have cell for the rest of the whole day, so. Oh no. Feels like we're in a farther out area. Anyway, Matt was able to get something to load and saw that there's a hurricane barrel that's coming towards us, or the remnants of it. I don't really think hurricanes hit Missouri, but I guess it's the remnants of it. So we should.
Depends how much Texas depresses them, basically.
We should be getting some rain today.
Is what it is, but nights like this are a little on the rough side. We, probably went to bed around, I don't know, 10:30, 11 o'clock. Had to eat, put everything away and everything. And pretty much everything is just soaking wet. I'm not even wearing pants right now because they are that wet. I'm gonna have to put them on before I go through town or the Mennonite ladies show back up. Because I have to edit videos anytime we're leaving early like this, I'm usually up really, really pre-dawn, working for a while, doing a triage edit, and then Jen snoozes and then starts to get going. But she is really sweet. She wakes up, makes me coffee, and then quite smugly goes back to sleep. From what I can tell on the radar, the drizzle that is hitting us right now is the remains of Tropical Storm / Hurricane Beryl. It looks like there is a heavier section, yellow with a little bit of red that may actually hit us now. Previously, it looked like the storm was supposed to track further east, but you never know. I have multiple styles of anti-chafe cream with me that I was applying aggressively yesterday, but sadly that does not seem to have fully mitigated everything. I was actually in a lot of pain around 7:30. And then something finally worked. The original cream that I had tried to replace a while back seemed to help, so I was able to just pound out miles during that big storm. But it's a 30-mile day. I'm just not the sort that can do those without, in non-ideal conditions, without getting beat up and having to kind of manage it the next day. I'm currently researching all the coffee shops in Sedalia.
It's been cloudy and dripping on us for a couple hours, and we're headed into the town of Sedalia.
Welcome to Sedalia, where we could have spent the night last night with a very kind person, except we were sick of sleeping inside and wanted to camp, and it made for a little more hiking time. And welcome to Tater Tuesday, featuring Pantsless in Sedalia. So apparently there was something with this town as of about 2019. There's an old news story about how it was so trashy it basically wasn't even safe to walk through. Talked about people pooping in buckets and tossing it out on the Katy Trail. But when I followed up with John from Hiking America, he said, oh no, somebody came through last year and said it was just lovely, year before, whenever it was. And hey, they got a coffee shop and a Subway. I can survive in this sort of civilization. The only ones out here. So I'm guessing the railroads were in use through town, so they had to kind of route the trail in and out these roads. For a slight detour, there is an Ozark coffee company that looks promising, so that is actually where we are headed. Okay, I'm not sure I trust that mileage, but Windsor is where our cabin stay is supposed to be. And this way loves coffee, hopefully. I am officially caring more about my wet shorts than I am about running around town in my underwear. So that was very, very fun. We went into a coffee shop, got to chat with really nice guy, and even more entertainingly, it's like a Amish Mennonite sort of coffee shop, and I am not wearing any pants. Below here, it's not Polish sausage like swinging in the wind. It's like Polish sausage snuggled up with ham hocks. Oh no, someone broke taters again. Like I said, I was sitting in there and I felt like this must be what it's like to have cleavage. Lundy, can I get a $500 creepy clown photo? No. So the person we had coffee with, his name was Matthew. He had contacted us, and he was the one that actually had offered us a place to stay last night. But we were stubborn and wanted to get more mileage, and so we slept out in the storm. And so he came out and met us. And that gave me an excuse to have like 1, 2, 4, 5 cups of coffee, something like that. Nothing like 4 or 5 cups of coffee to make a dreary day seem that much more motivating.
So I do enjoy getting coffee with Matt, partly because I also enjoy coffee, though in moderation, unlike Matt.
You like milk with coffee flavor.
Okay, you drink lattes too.
How lactate?
Mainly because Matt gets so happy. However, then I remember that I cannot keep up with 5 cups of coffee, Matt.
And welcome to the caffeinated portion of this morning. Taters is a little bit back behind. Oh, I have no idea what that is. And only one more whistle stop, which will be Windsor, and then we overnight and onto the Rock Island. And Lundy has finally arrived, so now it is wrap time.
Finally! So is it the rain not wanting to take breaks, the 5 cups of coffee, the fact there was a cabin at the end of the day?
Some of us drink coffee and listen to Dragon Force while we're hiking, and some people just, I don't know, think about how cute turtles are. Okay, 8 more miles to Windsor, where we have a nice little cabin waiting for us. As much as I don't like getting out of the tent early, it is really, really satisfying to do, 17, 18 miles by 2 o'clock.
I've been really enjoying all the birds on this trail today and our whole time on the Katy Trail. Especially the cardinals have been all over, and this really beautiful bright yellow bird, which I think is a prothonotary warbler. Haven't been able to catch any on camera despite lots of trying. They seem kind of shy and will fly off quickly whenever I get anywhere near them. I got one shot of a cardinal today. We'll see if my editor thinks it's good enough to put in. It was still pretty far off in the distance. Of course, if you're in Missouri or probably some of the surrounding states, you're totally used to seeing those 2 birds all over every day. But to me, they're pretty striking. And I can't think of seeing them a lot anywhere else, not even on the Mississippi River last summer. That drippy rain that had been going all day finally stopped around 2:30, right as we were leaving our break at Green Ridge, leaving us with absolutely perfect hiking conditions. Cool and overcast. We've reached the highest point on the Katy Trail, a whole 955 feet above sea level.
Well, somebody's a snobby Westerner.
Oh.
That is like, that's 1/3 of the highest point of the state.
Yeah, I miss the mountains. While most of the reason I end up so far behind Matt is just that I walk a lot slower, the other part is that I get distracted by finding cool bugs in the prairie flowers. And yet, on the whole, he still manages to notice more things than me. He's just really good at watching out for things in general. Like the owl the other day, was kind of sad I missed that. And earlier today there was this big green fruit type of thing. And he actually left one on the trail for me so I would notice it, but I saw it and thought it was just a piece of trash, like a rotting old softball or something. So we felt really bad about that after, because that was a cool looking thing. There was a sign back by the high point that this area is being conserved as a natural prairie environment. And while it's just a strip, there's farmland on either side. It has been really pleasant with all the flowers, butterflies, bugs. And on that note, someone today, for the first time out of many people that I've asked, was excited about something in Kansas. The Flint Hills, he said, is a really beautiful prairie environment. So I am looking forward to that now. We've been noticing these marks on a few of the benches.
Oh, look, I dropped something.
But this one is the worst. Matt, do you have any ideas what would be eating benches in Missouri?
Meth addicts.
Matt.
It's usually porcupines without houses, but I don't think a porcupine's gonna get up that high. Probably a squirrel.
Porcupines eat outhouses?
Yeah. Don't you remember on the AT? And here we go. We're actually gonna run into town. There's some Mexican food with our name in it. And then off to a cabin to get cleaned up. So we successfully did our 57-ish miles over 2 days. Yesterday evening being the particularly tough part of that when the storm came in.
We're heading into Windsor, right on my time estimate, I might add. It's 15 minutes to 6. And this is actually the last bit of the Katy Trail we'll be on. When we get back on trail tomorrow, we'll be on the Rock Island Trail, which I'm hoping is just as nice, both as far as sexy on the feet, ground cover, and as far as having greenery and being away from cars for the most part. In any case, we have very much appreciated the Katy Trail. My favorite parts were this last part, actually, and then the part just to the east of Rocheport with the Lewis and Clark Cave and being right along the Missouri River.
And welcome to Windsor. Now, some people, some wimpy people, some people that I know it's hard to even contemplate, might say, why not drop off your packs rather than walk the extra half mile to Mexican food? But fortunately, we're not those people. We're the sort who just proudly marches to Mexican food, not even noticing this pack. Seriously, I will talk to people for 30 minutes and go, oh, I probably should have taken my pack off. Meanwhile, Jen goes like 10 feet and she's like,
Okay, that was an exaggeration.
That was more of a Wookiee. I gave Jen the choice. We could either go to Mexican food or the pickled possum. She's good with Mexican food. Oh, okay. They are actually open. That had me scared for a minute. So people have been telling Tater she needs to drink electrolytes, so this is her solution. And now here we have nachos, not quite world class. And also Taters is waiting for her margarita to die of old age.
Okay, what is this trend about making nachos with non-melted cheese? I am not a nacho.
There's melted, really?
This is weird. Nachos should have melted cheese.
It's a good problem when the wide angle lens isn't wide angle enough to capture the awesomeness. And here we are dealing with the horrible life choices of a certain Miss Taters.
Maybe you should have left our packs back at the cabin.
No, because I would still be in the cabin going, Blondie, dinner! And you'd be using all the hot water. And this looks like our happy little cabin.